This is the Shinkansen, and it was probably released around here in Rose Scale Sandbox since back in November for the high-speed train for the very first time. The Japanese world record hits over 200 miles an hour and it blasted for some sort of like those things, or whenever it does, it goes for the other stations, and it's probably always on time and never going to get all the way late for some kind of for unknown reasons as well. The train was pretty long, looked like probably something ridiculous as well for the like these things like the Korean train. This is a Japanese high-speed bullet train. This is absolutely for this that the first bullet train from Japan has just gonna be setting off for one world thing. And for probably that we're going to be doing this as we're here in Rose Scale Sandbox, and it's absolutely for some sort of a bad performance. In the last video that we just terribly having for some sort of an accident, that some sort of the idiotic accident between turning to some kind of ghost like themselves as well, or some kind of passing other kinds of players. Nothing especially like this. They didn't care about for the safety reasons about their lights, and of course that unknown reasons like this, it was collided between BNSF and Union Pacific, and I couldn't be able to be for reaching for around for this destination, but I just totally missed it, and that I was probably totally an idiot as well. So could that actually Shinkansen would absolutely going to head over for some sort of the point B to Port de Grand Republic as well. So the number current of this thing is the number 510, and the 511 is on the back. So as we're gonna be hearing the bells or the horns like themselves as well, we could able to be seeing the lights, but that very sure that could be on top of the windshield. There must be headlights on top of the windshield, and it's might gotta be ready to go as well. And nothing could beat against like this thing as well, that the ice train could the first attempt. The ice train didn't make it on time because that was in kind of a mental problem as well. So with it absolutely going to be made here that since I made the train stations, including for some sort of tracks, everything is absolutely for so many basic things without any terrains, as we're going to be hitting the first time with any passengers we go. So the first train might be arrive at the station, and so it was currently, thanks to loud noises, could be everywhere, and that wouldn't be able to be thinking for a little bit for pretty much as well. The train might depart, and it will be going to be a little bit easy as well, and with it absolutely going to do this as well. But the Shinkansen or the Shinkansen was absolutely going to be pretty going to having for safe on time against for a little bit that ice train to do this. So we're not going to be about to worry about that Shinkansen versus ice train. We did that in this video, but since it completely failed around here during at the arrival at the train, but that doesn't going to be for like this as well, because I cannot believe it. The train didn't arrive, but eventually that completely having for safety reasons for one thing as well. So we're not going to be worried about for this next video in the future videos itself, as the Shinkansen arrives and picked up some passengers. Once we got rid of the ice train and extend with those rail cars like them, or the passenger coaches like themselves, we're gonna be raising up for some wiring for this thing as well, and it should be absolutely going to be energized like those things as well, even though that's when it's charged up as well really fast, and it's gonna be really on time as well. So How about we're going to be saying all aboard, and we're going to be sound this, and unfortunately it doesn't have any secondary horns like themselves beyond the Shinkansen like them so we'll be able to be turning on the headlights. It's not absolutely on the headlights like this thing as well, so it does have headlights on top of the windshield, and this one we're going to be taking for a little bit easy. So we'll be going to be saying all aboard for just right now, and what it yes it is, and it's going to be on our way really fast as well in 3, 2, 1. All aboard! Whoa, that was a rapid acceleration. That was quite a fast acceleration for this thing. So, it's going to be keeping up for one thing for just yet, and it's not going to be quick against 15 minutes. Look how the train is absolutely pretty long, that I just actually seen this for a while. The first time of Shinkansen is going to be looking all the way up, but we have to be careful now with that train. It's ridiculously too fast. It's a bullet train, and it won't be able to be climbing up, and again, so that's some kind of unknown thing that might cause problems beyond with those trains, rail cars, and that definitely not going to be on time anyways. So the rail cars was absolutely ridiculously loud thanks to the sound patch for literally for one thing. As we're going to be crossing with that bridge, as you can see, this layout has no terrains whatsoever. Nobody could help me figure it out that we're trying to make up this thing as well. Before this thing isn't going to be for taking a little bit for very far. The train is going to be arriving literally slowly, as the train could be accelerate a little bit fast than usual. Looks like that I never heard of the distance as well, so we're not able to be pressing F for around here to move a little bit forward, and it's gonna be a little bit fast, but we can't able to be scrolling in as well. How fast a train could be at least, even slower? Or isn't it even louder than unusual? But look at the top of the roof, because they got some stripes, like even what's possible. So let's get all the way for 30% of throttle, and I'm not very sure. It wasn't absolutely going to be surviving for just only one thing. So let's increase the total range of the top speed at about 42%. And it's going to be headed around onto these. It's going to be headed all over for around here on that corner. So it should be going to be trying to slow down either. So at least let's down to 32% per throttle. It cannot be all the way on time as well. So the Shinkansen was going to be literally coming really fast all the way up here. Sounds loud, bro. Sounds loud, sir. And it's not going to be headed all the way up as well. Not really fast it is. So the train is going to be arrive on time. And what's it going to be happening? The train might going to get stuck a little bit as well. So we're headed all the way for the high speeds. And perhaps, I hope this train might able to be make it on time. That I'm just completely using a manual transmission. So, well, let's hit the ground for the 50% per throttle. And we're maximized for the full speed at the bridge. Or some kind of, for the Seawain bridge like this. As the rapid acceleration goes, the high speed has taken off the line. And finally got stuck again. Sorry, let's try that again. That the train is going to be for a full liftoff, but we're absolutely going to be staying in a slower speeds. If we're going to be hit around for 100% per throttle, that wouldn't be for such a little bit of a great idea. As the train is going to be for a full liftoff, and away we go. So that was probably easy for the train is going to be breaking the bridge and blasting for the world record of that electrical power bullet train as well. So the bullet train is heading around for the downhill as the train wasn't able to be stopping for some sort of on time as well. So that train blasts all the way down as well. So I hereby the train will be might up a little bit slowed down as well. An average speed could be around for the speed could be for some sort of an airplane as well. So eventually that arrived at the bridge. Alright, full stop. The train should be arrived at the moment. And watch out for those major curves. And it's seriously going to be injures the rail cars. And then I'm not going to be probably to do this. And it's not going to be for a little bit as well. At the back of the train, this shouldn't be able to be arrive on time. And should be going on to the high-speed trains. And I definitely, the bullet train survives, which means Shinkansen survives! Yes, we may finally end up this video for a wrap up with this time. So, that we come into a little bit of end as well. As for safety first. Okay, that must be going to be probably it. The ice train was in the next video for the future for some sort of a second attempt. The first attempt was actually for some sort of a failure, as the second attempt won't be pretty successful for around here. The Shinkansen successfully made it around here, and for just a little bit amount of time that we get right over here for this thing overall. So let's just give ourselves for the halt as well, and we're going to be wrapped up for today's video, like I guess. So if you probably find out for this thing as well, we didn't mention to turn on the lights, that we completely just probably find out here. So that was amazing. This train could be so amazing that I just never imagined. Because did you know when I was pretty little that I was possessed with bullet fast trains in Tomica? For around here, especially not a fan dub of the Thomas and Friends like this things as well. So thankfully that was absolutely wrapped up for the highest speed train for over 200 miles an hour like the Shinkansen did. It already arrived, and that will be it as well. The link is going to be in description, and thankfully that my little bit for childhood stories have probably made me great as well. And also, thanks for watching, for all your support, and I gotta be signing off, and I'll talk to you mini lads and comic studio users, or some kind of rail fanners all later. Thankfully, that I just didn't actually say this in the last video.